Hello, welcome, and thanks for clicking on this little cooking series featuring the 7 most popular sausage dishes in the world. And I'm quite excited to do this one today because it caught me off guard. I get to learn and do and test something new. I like reading books about sausage. I have many, but I have never made the Toulouse. Oh, I'm gonna be getting carved up by the francophones out there. T-O-U-L-O-U-S-E, Toulouse. Sausage. It's a very coarse sausage that features salt, black pepper, fresh garlic, nutmeg, white wine, white pepper, sugar, and binder. It hails from France, and it's the feature sausage in one of the most popular dishes in the world called cassoulet. Hopefully that's right. Spelt. C-A-S-S-O-U-L-E-T. I know it's not cassoulet, cassoulet. But in order to make this stew, which is a very hearty stew, got pancetta, bacon, you can add pork shoulder, which would be really good. I'm not going to today. It would add lots of that marbled flavor in there. Onions, carrots, celery, garlic, white beans, tomatoes. The beans are important. That's kind of like the signature fiber in the dish. Chicken broth, thyme, bay leaf, salt and pepper, breadcrumbs, and olive oil. Fresh parsley for garnish. So, in order to make that stew though, we're going to have to make some Toulouse. So let's grab the pork butt. Our lovely pork butt that's about to be sausage. In fact, I'm going to save a little bit of this to make sausages for our other videos. What other videos are they? You're just going to have to stick around and find out what the other 7 most popular sausage dishes are in the world. This is a bone-in pork butt. You can see the bone here and the bone there. Come to the point, that's where you start making your mark. Go to the shoulder blade base, and it kind of scoops up and around and back down and over. There we go. Pork shoulder bone out. And we'll just knock this down into some nice strips to run through the grinder. We're only going to run it through once. I have about an 8 to 10 millimeter plate, and we're going to leave it at that because it calls for a coarse sausage, which I love. We'll make it quick since you've all seen me grind sausage before. There we go, we got the ground pork mixed up, and I mixed up the spices. And what's going into that fresh sausage? Salt at 16 grams per kilogram, black pepper at 3, fresh chopped garlic at 5, nutmeg at 1, white wine. I got a nice dry French white wine here. I like using dry wines when cooking, 25 grams per kilogram, white pepper, and sugar at half a gram per kilogram. We're not using any binder. Just got to measure out this wine here. So I am doing a 2 kg batch is what I pulled off that pork shoulder. So I need 50 milliliters. Dump it in, mix it up as thoroughly as you possibly can. And next time you see this, it will be stuffed into a sausage casing. I told you so, they're cased up. Now it's time to head over to the Dutch oven, the big pot, and start making our cassoulet with our Toulouse. There's our lovely cubed up bacon. Get that in there. Let that render down a bit, crisp up in its own fat, and that's going to be the very base of this awesome hearty soup. How's that for a tasty bit of audio? Those little bacon ends are smelling delicious. Starting to brown up really nicely. So I'm going to take them out, set them aside. We'll reintroduce them later. So this is kind of like the jambalaya. Lots of the flavor is going to stay in the pot. I just put a little bit more olive oil in there to lubricate the pan. The sausages need just a little bit of time to render out the fat. And I'm going to make it a pretty meaty stew here. Get all these sausages in there. Voila, we'll let those yummy sausages cook right up. Okay, I just gave them a flip and they're really starting to smell good. That garlic and white wine's coming through nice and strong. It's gonna be a nice base for flavor to this stew. Okay, the fat is starting to render out of that pork shoulder we used for this sausage. It's really smelling good now. And I think they're just about ready to pull off and set aside, and then we'll sweat down our vegetables in that same pot. All right, let's pinch and steal those guys out of there. Look at that, looks so good. We're gonna set them aside and slice them up for the stew. Okay, in go our veggies. Supposed to do the garlic after, but I'm just gonna throw the garlic in at the same time. Okay, and we're just gonna sweat these beautiful vegetables down for about 5 minutes, just to tender them up a bit. And I'm gonna scrape off that bottom of the pan, so I went and grabbed a wooden utensil. Get that flavor from that bacon and that Toulouse sausage in there. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a good little stew. Those look good already. And I just pulled those off, and you know, I've never had the Toulouse sausage, so you know I gotta have a bite of it. Oh yeah, look at those big coarse pork chunks. You gotta know what you're serving your guests, right? Okay, look at those nice coarse chunks of pork. They look so beautiful and yummy. Let's see how it is. That dry white wine and garlic combination is such a winner. That's gonna be a delicious stew. I think I'm gonna have to help myself to a little bit more before we get there. Okay, these have been cooking for about 5 minutes now, so it's time to introduce these two to one another. Bring in this Toulouse sausage. Then in next goes the signature piece to this. Diced tomatoes, the white beans, which is the signature piece. A few cups of chicken stock. Oh wow. This looks like a nice fall, winter, early spring stew that would make the house smell so good. This might get added to our regular routine in our house if this tastes good. Oh, and then I mixed up a little bit of spices for this. It says to add a bay leaf, a little salt and pepper and thyme to this stew, and then bring it to a simmer, and we're gonna pop it in the oven to bake for a while. Let all those wonderful flavors infuse into one another. Okay, we have it up to a very gentle simmer. Now I'm gonna pop it in the oven for 1 hour. Open her up. It's preheated to 350. Got the lid on. We'll come back in an hour. I forgot to hit play last time I was doing this, but one of the steps was to sprinkle some breadcrumbs on the top and let them crisp up for the last 15 minutes. And so I just drizzled it with some breadcrumbs, but there we go. How does that look for appetizing? I think it's time to scoop some out and taste test it. It is test time. I have the big bowl of cassoulet ready. One of the 7 most popular sausage dishes in the world. It's still steaming hot. Okay, let's get a little carrot, a little bacon, a little bit of everything in this first bite here. That is a wonderful, hearty soup or stew. The bacon's nice, kind of brings like a smoky element. And there's a little chewy, not chewy I shouldn't say, but like firm textured bacon ends. That wine and garlic penetrate through that broth. The tomatoes give it kind of like a tanginess. The veggies are nice and tender. Yeah, I think pretty much anyone would enjoy this stew. Yeah, I could see it being a super nice meal to sit down to with a piece of buttered bread on a cool fall day. There's just so much flavor in that broth from being kind of cooked in that cast iron pan. Nothing left, no flavor left. It's so good. I'm excited to go in and see how my family likes this. I would recommend making it. That sausage is good in this stew. Kind of those big firm bits of pork shoulder in that sausage is very good. I would highly recommend this. I hope you like it. I hope you make it at home. I hope you've been enjoying the 7 most popular sausage dishes series. Like and subscribe, and we'll make another one. Thanks again.